Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ MV, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We got a special guest in the building.
A whole legend.
That's
God
right.
damn it.
Charlie Wilson.
That's right.
Welcome, sir.
Uncle Charlie's here.
Thank you, man.
Uncle Charlie. What's up, my
whole
brother?
Legend, goddamn it.
Man, I hope I look a whole legend.
Thank you, man.
Not a quarter, not a half.
Whole legend.
A whole legend.
Yeah, I'm still whole. Been through a lot of shit. I can't believe I'm still
Whole?
put together. Yeah. It's been rough through my life, but I'm good.
Man, I can't wait till I hope I look as good as you when I'm, what you, 60,
67.
Yeah, man.
God
This
damn, Charlie.
last week I turned
Happy birthday, man.
37 shit. That's what.
And that's your real hairline?
Uh-huh.
God damn, boy. Let me
You were
bump
so
it down a
jealous.
little more.
You're so jealous of people with
Trying to
hair.
hide your
Trying to
hairline.
hide my...
He ain't got
Hide
hair
your
line.
hairline,
Got the
man.
front back.
You know,
You do have an amazing hairline.
If you just, if you start getting bald, and just sprinkle some of that shit on the, be done with it. Man.
Sprinkle what? Give us the secret.
What you sprinkling on there?
Topics if you need it.
Topics for real?
If you need it.
Topics make it?
Man, you can make a new hairline. My
No,
guy in
don't
the
do
front
it.
right now will sprinkle something on your head.
Oh,
give
no,
you a
I
new
don't want
hairline.
that. Nah. Envy got that. I
Definitely don't
want
have that. Mine is real.
No, it's
It's
not.
natural. All berries and juices.
that. Okay.
Berries and juices.
There you
It's
go.
transplanted from the back of his head to the
Now, how
front.
do you have so much energy at 67? I
Man,
seen you
you know-
perform in Bermuda.
Oh, yeah?
Was
You
it
at the-
Bermuda or was it? It was over. I don't remember what event it was, but it was over. It was in the Caribbean, in the islands, and you killed it. You was on stage for an hour.
Yeah.
Her was
That's
performing.
short.
Her performed after you.
Oh,
Where was that at? Aruba. It was Aruba.
Aruba.
And you killed it. And I was like, how does he still have all that energy?
Man, I didn't get a chance to finish doing what I was doing when I was in my 30s, and I was just pissed off about that for so many years. And so I only know how to perform one way, and that's just that way, and that's it. So I go in hard. I warm up before I get on the stage, and then from there it's on and popping.
What do you mean you say you didn't get to finish what you
Well,
what
I mean,
happened in your 30s?
everything just turned sour,
Mm-hmm.
and just ended up upside down in my life and my career. And so I didn't get a chance to really finish and get where I was trying to go at that time. And so when I asked God for what I needed and what I wanted in life, when he gave me the opportunity to go get that again, I just went hard. I just been going hard ever since. And everybody's like, how in the hell are you, doing what you're doing? Is because, I'm ready to do it the right way this time, so.
Was it bad business deals? Or
Man, I was just high.
Oh, you was
Drugs.
high.
Yeah.
Drugs.
I was drugged out, thugged out, everything you want to say. Ended up sleeping under parked cars and parked trucks. And when I got up, asked God for send me somebody to help me get out here. And I went to a liquor store to get something. I don't know I was trying to get something.
Some liquor.
Well, it wasn't, I don't know, I can't remember what it was.
Crown
Or maybe
Royal,
to meet
probably.
somebody with some drugs. I don't remember, but I was.
Yeah.
But when I came out, I seen my cousin, and we used to get high together. But she was your color. and
color is
that?
yeah, she was yellow.
Beige.
She was your color. But when we was getting high, her skin was black, patchy marks
Yeah,
everywhere.
that discoloration.
Yeah,
So
so
kind
you
of
know.
like Charlamagne, like the pageant.
No, for real. That used to happen to me when I used to drink a lot.
Yeah.
Get them dog
Dog
marks.
marks
Yeah.
everywhere. So when I seen her, she was high yellow. I said, damn, cuz, give me a hit. She's like, God, I saw them tears rolling. I said, what's wrong with you? She said, you dying. I said, no, I'm not. Shit, I done weighed about 115 pounds. She said,
Wow.
yes, you are, cuz. You got to come on out of this. I was like, come on, cuz. What you talking about? I said, you look good. She said, I've been sober for 3 years. I said, 3 years? It's been that long? She said, where you been? I said, I've been out here.
Where was your family at that time? Your brothers, your parents? You just were.
My mom, they lived in Oklahoma, so I was in Los Angeles on the streets, but you don't want to go on the mama with that, man.
Yeah.
You're a crackhead. You gotta do it yourself. And so when I saw her, she said, I've been sober for 3 years. She said, let me just take you to the rehab where I went, and I'm teaching out there. So I promised I would let her do it, and so she came the next day, picked me up, and I went out there. Wow. And I've been sober ever since.
That was God sending an
Congratulations.
angel.
That's
for sure.
25 years
man.
ago.
Wow. Was it
With no relapses and none of that, no turnarounds.
Wow.
Was it the industry that turned you out? Because I always heard a rumor that Total Experience Records
Man, it
used
was
to pay their artists in cocaine. That's what I used to hear. They used to pay the artists royalties in cocaine.
No, it wasn't. He didn't do that, but it was it could have been a better situation for me, but I handed my situation over to basically like family members, because I was more apt to see them with you know, houses and things and, you know, than myself, because I knew I was going to sing up on whatever we needed. But I was trying to make sure this one was okay and this one was okay. And
taking care of everybody else before you take care of yourself.
yeah. And so when the sun went down after many years, I was left with nothing.
Damn. Wow. So that took you into like depression, maybe?
Well, yeah. I mean, you know, and in the streets, you know, it was always gangsters, pimps, and dope dealers, and so they all just took care of whatever I needed. They would just give it to me.
And because everybody knew you.
Yeah, so it wasn't like I spent all my money on it, because I never had to spend no money on no drugs. That was out the question, you know. So, but drugs is drugs. It doesn't matter if you spend money on it or not, whether they gave it to you or not. You know, it just ended up taking me out the game, period. And I knew I could still sing and all that, but I was a mess.
Damn.
I was a mess, man. I ain't no lie. If you'd have seen me, you'd have say, man, that looked like that dude from the Gap Band. And, you know, Snoop said he saw me at a gas station one time. He said, man, I just cried, sit in the truck and cried. He said, I didn't know whether to give you some money or whether to give you a ride, you know, take you home. I didn't know. I was like, well, man, I was pretty bad shape during that time, but, you know, and
so you was a crackhead.
Oh man, I snorted, but after a while, man, I had a hole in my nose.
Wow.
Damn. Really? For real? You burned a hole in your nose?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's when that shit was good. That was that raw, uncut shit.
Yeah. So when they chopping their bag up, they was just a hill.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious.
There you go.
They used to make you sing for it or nothing?
Oh, man, I ain't doing that. What do you think I am?
I'm just saying, you know how they...
No, I ain't did that, man.
Think you gonna perform?
You think it's Gator?
Yeah, hell no, I ain't finna do that.
No, man.
Come on, do one of them ooh-wees for me, mother.
Ooh-wee!
You know what I'm saying? No, I didn't do that shit. But it was like, you know, they were like, where you been, Charlie? I said, man, I've been in the studio all night. Nobody never knew I didn't have a place to go. I would always say, I've been in the studio all night, man. He said, come on in here, man, take a shower or something. You don't look that good. Here, I got some shit on the table in there for you. Go take a shower and then leave when you want to. Just lock the door. And it'd be like that.
Damn.
And so, but I was sleeping on the side of the building behind the bushes, or sleeping under the U-Haul trucks that was in the parking lot. So I go all the way in the back and
what about your old music industry friends? They didn't...
Man, come on, man. Ain't nobody gonna fuck with you when you're looking like that.
God.
But what about your brothers? Because they were in the group with you in the Gap Band.
Well, let's go back. Let's tell a history of Charlie Wilson. If people who don't know, I'm sure there's some youngins that might not know.
Legendary group, the Gap Band.
Now, how did you get your start in the music industry? If for people that don't know who Charlie Wilson is,
well, first of all, I was a young buck, man, me and my friends, we played music. So before teenage years, we had a band, and we called ourselves the Carver GTs or something like that. We were young, about 12 years old. So we used to play in the YMCA on Wednesdays for the classmates. You know, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, whatever, after school. We did it on Wednesdays. So we'd have one chaperone. The next Wednesday was 4 chaperones, and the Wednesday out there was 8 chaperones or teachers. Then, and like about after a month, it was just like it was more teachers than students. Cause see, we played like grown people. We was 12 years old,
right?
And so I became first name basis with the teachers. And so you know, women, you know, so what happened after that? You know, I'm 12. That female teacher is probably about 22. I'm already living a grown life, sort of like.
Wow,
you knocking off the teachers at that age?
Come on, man.
Well, that's called. I mean, listen, that's called. We know now that's molestation.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what it is.
But back then,
I mean, you didn't know. You didn't know. You didn't know to think there was gonna be that. You know, whatever. But
started for me at 8 years old with a 20-something-year-old woman.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, you know, I was hanging out with grown people though. You know, anyway, you know, once I leave the house, you know, I'm hanging out with grown-ups. I'm hanging out with dope dealers and pimps and all that. They were all older than me.
Right.
Some of them was already 20-something years older than me. I'm hanging out with them anyway. So
What's the teacher name? Let's me too it real quick. What's her name?
no.
So now, how did the Gap Band get created?
So that band that we had. We got a little old. We started playing happy hours because the bass player's father was the chaperone. He was the father. So and then so we go from that, end up in the club, the same club, Blue Mondays.
Were you making money?
Yeah, it was a little bit of money though.
But somebody was making money though.
Yeah, it wasn't that much. I mean, you know, we 12, 13 years old. I mean, you know.
But I mean, like the management or whoever was booking y'all.
It wasn't really no management at that time. It was just his
Chaperones.
daddy. He chaperoned to make sure we up in them clubs. You know, you got to make sure we all right up in there. So we get paid. We split it all up about between 6 or 7 people. So we did that. And then finally, everybody started coming in on us like, wow, these little dudes is bad. What they doing up in here? And so it got 2 years later, we about 14 or 15, and then the place is packed. Parking lot's packed. It's just like all kind of cars is out there.
Tulsa, Oklahoma?
Yeah, in Tulsa. So, and so this band was across the street. My oldest brother was in that band, and they was like, man, who's across the street? They said, your little brother over there, man. He over there turning it out. We had more people than they ever had. So then they all started coming over there, standing in the doorway talking about, arms folded.
Mad.
I mean, mad. We done took everybody.
Yeah, tight faces.
Yeah, we done took everybody out the club. And so he's like, man, you need to get out this band. And I was like, no, I don't. He said, yes, you do. I'm going to tell mama you in here then.
Well, tell mama.
I'm going to tell mama you in here playing. They said you was at Dino's house, you know, sleeping, you know, staying all night with each other on the weekends. I was like, hey, I said, yeah, we back and forth at mama's, over his house, back at our house. He said, no. You've been playing here because I've been hearing about it. I said, anyway, long story short, after we got to high school, I decided, you know, he was like, man, you got to get out this band, man. Come get in this band while I'm in. I was like, and we was getting ready to graduate. We was trying to figure out what college we was going to. Everybody's going to different colleges, and I said, okay. So I went and got in his band, and it was okay. You know,
His band was already called the Gap Band?
it wasn't a Gap Band at that time, but it was like we ended up calling it that. The Greenwood, Archer, and Pine Street Band.
I wanted to know. I was gonna ask you what's the cultural significance of the group name, the Gap Band. I was gonna ask you what does that mean.
Greenwood, Archer, and Pine Street Band.
This is all
Now,
neighborhoods.
Greenwood was where Black Wall Street was. All rich black people, multi-millionaires, had their own bus companies, had their own grocery stores, had their own black-owned banks.
That's right.
Had everything there. And then
The white man came and blew it all up.
burn it up. Cause this black dude and this white chick was having sex, going with each other, but that was really hush in the 20s. And they was in the same building. They come down the elevator together and open up on that ground floor, and all them white people was there, so she come out screaming.
He raped me.
Yeah, well, he just come out screaming, so they just grabbed him and dragged him. So, cause they like, you know, you ain't supposed to be in no elevator with no white woman. It just ain't supposed to be like that. So they couldn't say that they had been doing anything. So they just beat him, and then they started burning things.
Well, you were around then, right?
Huh?
Were you in Tulsa at that time?
No, that was in the 20s.
Okay,
Yeah.
damn, I'm bugging.
Yeah. My grandmother and them and knew about that, told me that story, and they burnt out everything, and then they started. The police was knocking on doors, and if black people answer the door, they shoot them, kill them. Yeah.
Yep.
So they're trying to wipe out all of North Tulsa, and
That's such an important story that I feel like still hasn't been told the right way. I think people need to see that. They kind of flirted with it in that the HBO show The Watchmen. But it's like, yo, people need to see that because black people have built these great communities, but they've been snatched away from us.
Absolutely. Well, they was the white community was really mad at this black community because they had everything, didn't need anything. They didn't have to come out of that community for nothing. Buses, cabs, and they was mad because the black people wouldn't go and work for them anymore. Because they had it all.
Is that story told in Tulsa a lot? Because I always wondered, like, what was taught to kids growing up in Tulsa?
Well, you know
to teach them the importance of having their own.
Basically, it was not supposed to be talked about at all. So the people, the blacks that lived long said, don't ever bring that up, ever.
Really?
Oh, yeah, because if the white police officers, if you said, tell me what happened, and if they started talking about what happened, then they just kill them.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what was happening.
Boy, but they know how to stop black progress, boy.
They did. They
you
did. And then
think
they
about it, it wasn't even
rebuild
that
and then they
long
burn
ago.
them out again.
So they
never
never
didn't say that again. But
So when he was told about it was in hush whispers almost.
yeah, they were saying it, but you can't ever talk about this, because but it was one white dude that was still living and one black lady still living, and it was one of my daughter's great grandmother, and she called. They used to ask her about it. She's like, baby, don't you ever repeat this. He said, Grandma, how you still living? She said, because I never said anything, because my mother said, don't ever, ever talk about this.
Damn.
Yeah. And so she was one of the ones that was living, and it was one white dude that was living, and he kind of didn't tell the story right, and they said, oh, he didn't say it right. But we all know what happened. And so she said, the reason why I'm living, because I never told them. And they tried to do interviews with her, take pictures, asked her about it. She's like, no, I don't have anything to say. That just followed her all the way. She was 106 years old when she died. And she died 7 years ago.
Wow. Damn. What has kept
And she was a little girl then.
What has kept the Gap Band from like being seen as one of like the upper echelon groups in R&B, you think?
You're a product of your environment, your association with people. See, let me just say this. No disrespect to anybody, and I'm not just have to say anything, but if you're a known pimp, or if you're a known drug dealer, and you go get these kids over here and you trying to promote them, then nobody gonna hardly mess with you. Or if you're a gangbanger, nobody want to be bothered with that. So, quite naturally, they're gonna push you over here with it. You're a club owner, you're doing everything that ain't right, and you scared a few people, but ain't nobody gonna touch it up here. It's gonna be like, no, I don't want to have nothing to do with that. This dude's crazy. You never know what he's gonna do, So we did it the best way we could do. We cut some great records, and back in the day, I had so much respect for Frankie Crocker.
Frankie Crocker, the only black man with a suntan.
Man, that dude called. One day he came to Los Angeles and he was in our club, and he said, man, play the record. He said, man, I ain't playing that. That's cowboy music. Boy, it hurt me so bad. I was standing there. I loved it, man. I love Frankie Crocker, man. That was my dude. Music. Couldn't wait to come to California so I could just hear how he played his music. Because he might play Frank Sinatra and then play Kool & Gang the next minute. He just played what he wanted to play, and he was just great at whatever he wanted to do.
And he called you cowboy music?
Get it out of here.
Damn.
Get the cowboy music shit out. Let's get that cowboy shit out of here.
I mean, eventually he had to play something.
Oh, he
right?
played it. I mean, he played it after a while. But see, him and our manager at that time was basically rivals.
Okay.
Okay, so that was the real reason.
That was the real reason. West Coast, East Coast, West Coast.
Damn, that even carried over into...
That was way back before the youngsters talking about East Coast.
That's funny because Sheila E. said the same thing when she was up here. She said that when she did the movie Crush Groove, they didn't like her because she was from the West Coast.
Yeah, that was been a long time rival stuff there.
Do you know how big We Can Make It All Right was for DJs?
Oh, yeah.
That was my wedding song.
Really?
Yeah.
We can make it all right.
The acapella.
Yeah.
Like,
we've had a share of trouble. Many more than others. Well, who else told me that?
With a little love and understanding. Woo!
We can climbing the mountain.
Amber, you ruining it.
Man.
But as long as it's you and me, girl.
Man, that's God, man.
There is nothing.
That's not God. That's the absence of God. But when you sing, that's God. That's God.
Night we kiss. Ooh, that's my joy.
Do it for forever.
About to call my wife right now.
No, don't. He really will too.
God.
Next thing you know,
Damn. How many times do people call you to do private singing things for Valentine's and stuff?
Oh man, they call a lot, but they don't have enough. They don't have enough.
They don't have enough money.
No, they don't have enough. So we just kindly just turn them down. We basically my manager over there, he don't say you don't have enough money. He say, I'm sorry, we're busy right now. We can't do it. Nah, because I don't like hurting people's feelings. My feelings got hurt so many times when I was coming up.
Yeah,
we see you still remember.
Oh yeah,
Frankie Crocker wasn't.
No, I don't do people like that. He might do them like that, but he got to be.
That's his
basically,
job.
He's a manager. Got to be like that, But me, I'm just like.
And now you got Forever Valentine out.
Oh my gosh, come on.
That is an amazing song.
It's got to be at least one person that paid Charlie Wilson to come sing for him.
Oh yeah,
Privately.
I mean I did go.
Yeah,
I've done it.
Who?
You said Magic.
I played for
Johnson?
Magic Johnson.
Yeah.
I played for the Kardashians. Chris.
Chris Jenner.
Michael Jordan.
Just at the house.
No, he had his
event.
function.
Yeah.
But you know, Magic
And I'm sure
Johnson is a big fan. I'm a big fan. Michael Jordan is a big fan. I'm a big fan of his, and so it was like it's different.
Right.
I was in the car. They parked in front of a store, and there's two chicks got up. My wife was in the store, and this lady was. I was playing one of my songs I had been working on, and it had just came on, so I was listening at it to see how I can remix it. I was just listening in the car, and she got up. She said, she opened up the door and let her sister out, and she closed the door. She looked over there, and I turned the music up. She said, "Hey, who are you? Why are you playing that so many times?" I said, "I'm trying to make sure I learn my lyrics." Yeah, right. Like you some damn Charlie Wilson. You ain't no goddamn Charlie Wilson.
Wow.
So I said, no. I said, I am. But she said, man, you know what? She said, well, where your wife at? I said, she in there. She's like, yeah, right. And then her sister came out screaming, and with my wife. And I said, that my wife here? And she said, she started screaming. Then she said, I'm getting married. I just want you. My daddy got the money. Trust me. He got any kind of money you want. You know, I just got you to need you to play for my wedding. She's like, my daddy would pay any amount you talking about. I don't care what it is. How many $100,000 you want? But I was at that time. I was like, you know what? I'm not finna turn into the damn wedding singer. That's for sure. So
you ain't do it.
You do a bar mitzvah or something like.
Man,
why not?
You got the money.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Cause you didn't do
got
it.
the money, huh?
You didn't do it
Man, I wrote it down, and by that time, my manager done booked some shows, and we booked by then.
Yeah.
You know, I just like, you know, man, I work all the time, and I can't accept some monies and for deposits and flick out on the show to
Right.
play
you
some
can't
money.
do that. It's bad
Somebody
business.
give me some more money than that show. I don't do that either, man. I got a show booked. We already got the deposit. That's it, and that's all.
How do you decide who you want to work with? Because a lot of these artists now want to work with Charlie Wilson so badly. Obviously, you know, you and Bruno Mars, Tyler the Creator.
Yes.
We know you have a great relationship with Snoop. But how do you decide? Because I'm sure there's artists that are doing really well, putting up those numbers, but it has to go on brand with what it is that you do too.
They called. I seen a few of them. Excuse me, at the Grammy Awards. I was getting up at the same time. The superstar rapper and his superstar wife. He's like, man, damn, I'm standing in front of Charlie Wilson. God damn, man, can I get some of that? You know, just like a verse or a hook. I was like, yeah, man. It don't matter. You and your wife can come on. We can do it. No. But a lot of people ask me all the time. You know, but I can't oblige everybody, you know, because I'm so busy.
You talking about Jay-Z and Beyonce, right?
You trying to guess, and I ain't gonna tell you
You
that.
said superstar rapping and superstar wife.
A bunch of them out there.
I was with Migos, Cardi,
Kanye maybe?
It's a bunch of. I always work with Kanye, but I'm just saying it could be. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I wouldn't never say it. I would love to work with Offset and Cardi B. Don't play.
Offset, Cardi, make shit happen now. Come on now.
Yeah, it's
Cardi got an album coming out soon.
She sure does.
Yeah. I got one coming out soon too. So.
For your album, there we go.
You know what I'm saying? I know you probably had that little problem doing what you do. Sometimes you try to go on the road with somebody. I treat you right, give you the number you're looking for. You know what I'm saying? Because me and you gonna set the building on fire. Yeah.
Didn't Snoop almost make you relapse one time? I heard a story about that. He was in the studio smoking weed and your wife made him
I wasn't weed smoke anyway. Snoop Dogg couldn't make me relapse.
It was your wife that was like, we ain't doing that.
She told we went there to do some. I went there to do some work with Snoop. It was the first time I had seen him since. He said he saw me, and she put an A before S. Anything. So a Snoop.
A Snoop?
A Snoop. Anything with an S, she put an up in front of it. So she was like, so they was all smoking. Tupac, everybody was in there smoking. And so Snoop came, and man, he was like fired up. She's like, a Snoop, I'm sorry. Could you put that out? He was like, excuse me? She said, you got to put that out. My husband can't come in there with you smoking that. He said, word? She said, I'm going to take him home then. He said, no, that's okay. She said, he's clean and sober. I must have been like my first year or second year.
Mm-hmm.
You should have seen him putting it out, man. He said, man, y'all put that shit out. I can't come in here if you put that shit out. So everybody put it out. I went in there and did the songs. And
What year was this?
96, 97.
Tupac wasn't there in 97 then.
Huh?
Tupac wasn't there in 97.
Yeah. 96. 96.
Yeah, he died in 96, or late 96.
Yeah, 96. It was somewhere in there. It was somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And did you know she was doing that, or did she just?
No, she didn't care if I knew or not.
Right.
She just straight tell them. She tell all them gangsters in there, all them
That's right.
death row gangsters in there. Y'all got to put that out. I'm not going to let him come in here. So they was like, oh word. One time I went to Snoop's house, and they said you got to get frisked when you come in there. So
They frisked you when you went to. They frisked you when you went to the bar?
them cops was frisking everybody
Oh, the
at
cops.
the time,
Okay.
all the time. Yeah, I wasn't that family yet, not that, but he was. Of course, everybody knew me, and the guys that was frisking me really knew who I know me really well.
This is the real.
But this is protocol. You
Yeah,
got to
this is
just
the
get
middle
frisked.
of his beef. when he was-
Absolutely.
yeah, okay.
But you just gotta everybody gotta get frisked. All the females, all the males. Everybody look. The ladies, cops look in the purses, and the guys frisk you, and you go in. But when I got in there, I could smell some air freshener mixed with weed. But he was like,
Looking out for you.
yeah, Unc's coming, man. Put that shit out. I go in there. There about 5 people in there, and you can see some smoke through the window. I went in there, and he like, what up, Unc? I said, what's going on? I said, blow it out, Snoop.
It's okay.
But I made him stop smoking for a year.
Really?
Really?
Why?
Yeah, remember he said he quit smoking?
Yep.
It's because I made him stop.
What happened?
How'd you do that?
I took him in his own kitchen and had a conversation with him that he didn't like, and then he just sit there and just said, with them frowns a little bit, I said, man, you got to stop, man. You got to stop. He said, for real? I was like, hey, man, you got a wife in there, and you got them little ones in there, you got to stop. And so he's like, okay.
I can't
So
even.
he went up, got in there, come back with a shoe box. He had something in there, dumped it in the trash can.
Damn.
And dumped it. I said, go get the rest of it. He went in there and got some other one and dumped it. And so I said, I know you got something here, but that's okay. I just want you to throw it all away. So I went home, and a week later, I talked to Sean, his wife, and she said, Uncle Charlie, what you say to Snoop? I said, why? He ain't smoked nothing since you left. As a matter of fact, he throwing everything out. Everything. Rolling papers, everything. And he lasted about a year.
What did you say to him?
can't
What did you say to him to make him stop? Like,
Well,
what
I
did-
just basically was just saying, hey, man, you got family. Family's more important than this shit right here, and so we just got to just put a curve on it, and let's just go and do the right thing. I'm doing the right thing. You should do the right thing. Let's just do it and take care of family, take care of your life, take care of your health, write some great music, and let's just go. And he said, that sounds good to me, and that's what he did.
I can't even imagine a Snoop not a smoking.
Wow.
That don't even make no damn sense.
He stopped for a year, man. I'm telling you, and it was just like it was just amazing. But
He relapsed.
well, about after a year, yeah, he
Yeah,
got peer
he
pressure.
came back, yeah.
You got guys in there, all of our friend, everybody's called the guy in the green. Bishop Don Juan.
Bishop Don
Bishop
Juan.
Don Juan.
Bishop
Yeah,
Don
that's
Juan.
all our friends, our buddy, But he didn't understand that what was going on at that time. So he came in there with the goods like he always did, He rolling up, Snoop like, man, I don't fire that up in here. He said, come on, man, it's the best shit. Yeah, after a while, you smell it.
Yeah.
And that's why I stay away from places, places, or things that I know something's going on in there.
That's right.
And so I just didn't go.
You
So-
got Kanye to turn to God too, right? I heard that you told
Man,
Kanye
I've been
to put
talking.
God
I have been
first.
talking to him for so long about just life and God and itself. Because everybody used to look at me like, because man, I testify on my shows.
That's right.
And get to shouting right there. After that, have 18,000 people shouting with me. And then go right in the outstanding after that or something.
Right.
But you got to pass it on. Some people are having problems, and it. Somebody in that building is high. I used to tell them, I said, I ain't trying to mess your high up right now, but I'm about to have some church. And I spilled what had happened to me and how good God's been to me. And we have just a little service, and then we shout, and I see people they throw coins on the stage, like 10 years, 2 months. Everybody's throwing, everybody's walking
Sobriety
up.
coins, yeah.
Yeah. They
So you think you the reason Kanye turned to God in that way?
Well, I'm not gonna claim that, but you know what I'm saying. I used to talk to him a lot about that, and I talk to all of my superstar nephews, I call them. It's like, hey man, come on, we gotta do this right thing. And I said, me, I don't care nothing about this thing you got going up in here. Don't nobody take this picture. Don't nobody, I got my phone. I got my phone. Hell, shit, I ain't finna put my phone nowhere.
You don't know how to use that phone, Charlie.
Shit, the flip up.
Stop.
What's hard about that shit? The Captain Kirk flip up. That's what I got. They said, "This ain't no smartphone." I said, "It's a smart nigga with the phone." Excuse me.
It's okay, Uncle Charlie.
I was a smart one with the phone, so we're good.
I saw an interview where you said you never had been on vacation before.
I haven't. You know what? My manager and my assistant right there tried their best to take me and my wife out this country, going somewhere so me and her can relax, because we haven't ever had.
You need that.
We did it. We did it a little while, and my wife said, I don't never want to go somewhere like that again. What? I said,
Where'd y'all go?
I can't remember. We was out the country somewhere. We just took the cruise.
Where'd you take them?
Saint-Tropez. Saint-Tropez. She's like, it was beautiful over there. Don't get me wrong. It was beautiful over there. I had a great time. And
where's the butt? Where's the butt then?
That's where
because
Magic
she's
Johnson
like, my
does
wife
his birthday
said,
party.
I enjoyed walking on, Saint-Tropez, and we had a good time. She said, we could have just cocked up on the couch and watched TV.
Oh my gosh.
Looked out there at that backyard. That's the same damn thing we was looking at is right here.
Oh my gosh.
So why should we go, 12 or 12,000 miles or whatever, how far it was away to try to go do that when we have it right here in the backyard? And I agree with her a lot. We're not home enough. That's what she was basically trying to say.
Okay, I get that.
Yeah.
You travel so much and you're always on the road that being home is actually a luxury.
She had her birthday yesterday, was Tuesday. Mm-hmm. I had my birthday on the 29th of January. We working. And so she's like, I don't want nothing. I don't want no try to bring me no diamonds. Don't try to bring me no nothing. Just, you better have that cake though.
I love the way you talk about your wife. You said that you weren't even living until you met her? You just was existing?
Man, I was existing. Listen, my wife, I met her in the rehab. My cousin, she had helped my cousin. Mm-hmm. And the lady I was talking to you about earlier. So she had helped her, got her straight, and was working at the same rehab that she was at for 3 years. And so when I got to that rehab, I was in bad shape. I didn't weigh no more than 115 pounds. That's some 7th grade shit.
Absolutely.
120 pounds. But I just fucked around just weeks. And I think the first 2 weeks I was just taking pictures. This little skinny ass dude with some blonde nappy ass hair. And me, I'm talking about myself. I had dyed my hair blonde or whatever it was. And anyway, and trying to find drugs in there. And so finally this lady kept coming. Every time she'd walk down the hallway, I could hear walking. You could tell from a female walk shoes and a man's real shoes. So
right.
I try to hide the shit I had in my pocket. Because you get caught with some drugs, it's an automatic kick out for you. So I had a little something in my pocket. I was trying to hit it for a week and couldn't, because then she knocked on the door. I said, how you doing, ma'am? She's like, I'll talk to you about your behavior in classes, because you're not participating in anything. You've been here a week already. So I'm going to do better, and you're falling asleep, So anyway, second week, the third week, she came again and said, I'm going to talk to you. I went to her office, and she says, listen, you need to participate more in these classes. You're falling asleep now, and she said, I know why you're falling asleep, because you're detoxing, your body's detoxing, but you gotta participate. You gotta find these tools for the rest of your life. And I was like, I know. So she said, what you gonna do when you get out of here? Then I broke down there, man. I was like, I don't have nowhere to go. She was like, She said, well, let's just talk about that for a second. Calm down. And she said, well, you don't have, what do you mean you don't have nowhere to go? I said, I don't have nowhere to go. I'm homeless. She was like, homeless? And you don't have nowhere? I said, no, man. So she said, okay, Wednesday, I want to take you to look for you a place to live. So Wednesday came, and she got me a pass. I got in her car, and she took me for a place. And it was 3-car garage, house, upstairs, downstairs, I think 4 or 5 bedrooms or something like that. And so I said, okay, this is kind of cool. I ain't got no friends. She said, we're gonna go tomorrow. Let's get back to the rehab. Got back in there. Next day we went, and she found the furniture, filled the whole place up with furniture.
How'd you pay for this house?
Hold on, man. I ain't got a dime. Okay. So she said she put the furniture in, and I said, okay, what about the car? She was like, I ain't giving you no car because you know your subconscious gonna take you to the drug house or the dope house or the liquor store. So I said, well, I can't be in here by myself, man. And she's like, I was looking at her, she said, I don't know what you're looking at me for. I don't know you like that. I was like, well, it sure be nice if you stay here with me at least till I, you know.
You ain't say it like that.
Oh, man, I did. I was kind of calm. I'm trying to sneak up on her, but
that's
you know.
That old school G right there.
Right. You sure you ain't singing to her?
No, I hadn't sing it yet, but
okay.
She didn't even know who I am. She don't know nothing about no R&B music at that time anyway.
So she paid for the house and the furniture?
She bought it all. She paid for it all. And so my wife's Persian, you know. Everybody said, man, Charlie Wilson got a white wife. I said, no, she's not white. She's Persian. Mm-hmm. But anyway, it was, she paid for everything. I got in there and went back to the next day. I moved in. I mean, I kind of went in there. And she's like, I said, can you just stay here with me just a couple of days? She said, I can't do that. I don't think that'd be proper right now. And so she said, maybe when you graduate, we'll talk about it. Long story short, I did talk her into staying there. And she said, first she kept saying, I don't know you like that. But anyway, she ended up staying there with me. And then one day I said, ma'am, I'm going to tell you something about me. If I leave out this house by myself, going somewhere, only being in this rehab for only 28 days, I'm telling you now, I'm going to die out there. It won't be another chance for me. I know myself. And I have had anything in 20-something days, I'm mad as hell. So she moved in with me. And she told me, one day she said, we'll be in here 1 year, and I guarantee you, after this 1 year is up, you can buy your own house. I was like, shh, how's that? She said, you'll see, come on. We was in that house 1 year, and the Spirit said, get in the car. We started driving. She said, where you going? I was all up in Sand Canyon. This is what these big mansion houses is. And she was like, I went up in there. She said, let me ask you a question. Why are you looking at these big houses like this? They like 20-something thousand square foot. She said, it's just me and you. It ain't gonna be no grand parties up in there. You ain't gonna be having that. So let's just, what are you looking for? And why do you want it? And I couldn't answer the question. I couldn't answer. So I started driving again and found this neighborhood. And the Spirit told me to pull up in the house, the main house where they do the business, you know. So everything hadn't been built yet. So you can. Okay. So I went in there. The lady said, "How y'all doing? Come on in." And I said, "Well, the Spirit told me to come here, and it's already modeled, just already furniture and everything in it." Right. So she said, "Okay, sit on down." I was looking around. I said, "Oh, this is kind of nice, man. It's a big backyard." I said, "We can put the pool back there, and put a pond over there, and everything." And so this couple came in, and he said, "Yeah, can we look?" And the lady said, "I'm sorry, y'all. This house is sold." And so I said, "Why she didn't say it to me like that?" So and then when they left, I said, "Why you didn't tell me it was sold?" She said, "You said the Spirit told you to come here, right?" I said, "Yes, ma'am." She said, "This is your house."
Wow.
I said, "Yeah, but," she said, "Where your faith at?" And from there, we got the house. Wow. And went to try to close, and my wife had a check and they didn't accept it. And I went to the house. I went to the car and just pouted. I was like, shit, man, that's a nice house. I want it. So the lady came out. Charlie, where's your faith? Here, take these keys. I'll pay that for you. And she paid it.
What lady? The lady
that was working at that.
What?
Yeah, she paid it. And my wife said, I'll give you the money tomorrow, the next day, whatever it was. So she paid it, didn't know who I was, didn't know who my wife was, but that was just God, the blessing of God just put this woman in front of us. And we got that house, and I stayed there a few years. We decorated the backyard and swimming pool, pond with a putting green in the middle, and it was just. And
you got away with women, man.
Yeah,
you was 12, sleeping with
stories.
teachers. You went to the rehab, ended up with a wife, got a free house from a woman. Can't take you nowhere.
Well, Charlie got to go, guys. So we got to.
What you mean, Charlie got to go?
He has to go. He has other things.
God damn.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Forever
let's not
Valentine was my new
Forever
single.
Valentine.
Let's introduce the single right now. We
We didn't even
right
get to
now.
talk about computer love, man.
Oh, well, man, y'all want to start me and got me on that tangent.
Damn.
All right.
At least tell us how you became the lead voice for computer love, man.
That was Roger Troutman. We was on the road with the Zap band so many times. Me and Roger was just like brothers. And one day he called me. And one night he said, "Man, what should I do, man? The next?" I said, "I don't know what you got to do, Roger." He's like, "Come on, man, just tell me." I said, "All right, do a ballad." He said, "I don't do ballads. We got funk." I said, "Why you ask me?" So he says, "Okay, I'm gonna try it." He goes home. He goes to the hotel. So he calls me about 3 o'clock in the morning after the show. He says, "I got an idea." I said, "What you wake me up for? You could have waited till tomorrow." He said, "But I need you to come now." I said, "Dude, where you at?" He said, "I'm in the studio." I said, "Come on, Raj." And so I go down there and he got that's what he had. And that's all he had. And so me and him was going at it. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then and I had just woke up, so I kept, every time I sang something, I said, "I just woke up." He said, "Don't say that, don't say that." So he had to keep erasing, "I just woke up." Because every time I sang something, I just was like so much, sleep in my throat. But it ended up being one of the greatest records that we've ever done, I've ever done with somebody. And but they didn't want to put my name on it.
Why not?
That was a total experience because they was mad because we had a hell of a record and the Gap Band didn't, and they was pissed off.
It was the labels, right? That were competing.
Yeah, they ended up fighting about it.
And that was way before the digital era, so just the whole idea of computer love.
Yeah. It was a monstrous, beautiful time. Me and Roger was great friends.
Well, introduce your record right now.
That'd
Now
be
you
a
got to
good
go.
dating
Introduce the record. Let's play the record right now.
Goddamn,
My name is Charlie Wilson, Uncle Charlie. My new single is called Forever Valentine, produced by Bruno Mars, Stereotypes, and D-Mile. Man, you can't get no better than that. Come on.
Man, thank you for coming, Charlie.
The record is the fastest record going up the charts. Hashtag, the #1 most
Man,
added.
don't start that young shit now.
Hashtag. That's #1, so that big hashtag. It's #1 most added. The it's the top 10 this week. The fastest record getting to top 10 in 3 years or something like that. And so we headed to #1. I'm
right
just
in
saying.
time for Valentine's Day.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a great record. Me and Bruno, we talked about the record so many times about what kind of record. He said, "You need a special record." And we ended up getting this special record because it's going to come back again next year for Valentine's and the year after that for Valentine's, just like the Christmas record for
Makes
that.
sense.
Well, Charlie Wilson, thank you.
And
for
he
joining us
tweeted,
this
Bruno
morning.
Mars tweeted last year he wanted to do a record with you. And now look,
Oh, yeah.
that's God, too. That's the spirit.
That's God, for sure.
I think Charlie, I know you do church at the show, man. I think you should leave us with a prayer because you've been blessed, man. I think it's only right, man.
Unless you want to sing a gospel song or something.
Either or. I think
Close
it's
your
only
eyes and bow your head.
Close your
Father, we
eyes.
thank
Let's
you for another day. We thank you for your mercy and your grace, and we thank you for your Son, Jesus Christ, who died for our sins on the cross. Father, I ask you to bless each soul in this room, every person in this room, Father. We ask you to continue to bless, touch them as they go, Father. Keep us all safe and sound as we travel. We thank you for the Breakfast Club and each person that's a part of this organization. We love you, Lord, and we give you all the glory and all the praise and all the honor goes to you, Father. All these blessings we ask it in Jesus' name be done. Thank God. Amen.
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 Charlie Wilson,
We're going to get us some free houses now. That's right. And women everywhere we go.
You blessed and highly favored. You said it.
Charlie Wilson
Hey,
is the
man,
Breakfast
y'all
Club. Good
something else.
morning.
Y'all give me started on something.